This year, the incident involving Pang Mao in China caught the world's attention. If Pang Mao had a second chance at life, the story would go like this. Hello everyone, I'm Pang Mao. I want to ask you, is it worth giving your life for someone who doesn't love you? In my previous life, I lived on $10 cheap fast food every day, saved up, and transferred $500,000 to my girlfriend, bought her a house, and set up a shop for her. She once said she would marry me. But after she spent all my money, she broke up with me, and I was heartbroken. I lost hope in life because I had no money for treatment when I fell ill, and eventually jumped into the river to end my life. When I woke up again, I found I had been reborn. I was back to the time before my girlfriend broke up with me. This time, I left her decisively. I won't be her sugar daddy again. I'll spend the money I earned on myself. Just saw a message from my girlfriend, and it took me a while to understand. I was in a relationship with Tanu for 2 years, and it was only before my death that I finally understood her. I once thought she was the girl destined for me, and we would date with marriage in mind. But in reality, she was just a gold digger after my money. I met Tanu in a game because my parents divorced, and I grew up with a solitary personality, so I had no friends. At first, Tanu's care made me feel warm. She understood my loneliness and my inner sadness. I cherished this seemingly good relationship very much. After 6 months of online dating, I went to Tanu City to meet her. Tanu was as gentle and beautiful as I imagined, 5 years older than me. She hoped I could stay in this city for her, and said she truly loved me and wanted to marry me. Hearing these words, I was so excited that I couldn't sleep all night. I longed to have my own family, but unfortunately, I was only 20 that year, not yet of legal marriage age. So we waited for the day we could marry. That year, I moved to Tanu City and rented a 50 square meter small house not far from her home. However, the happiness I expected did not come, but became the beginning of my misfortune. I liked playing games since I was a child, and as my gaming skills improved, I dropped out of school to become a professional gamer. As my skills continued to improve, my income increased. It was then that I met Tanu. I was raised by my mom alone, and a life of poverty made me used to being frugal. However, Tanu never restrained her spending, but I never minded because I loved her and wanted to give her the best of everything. Since confirming my relationship with Tanu, I became more frugal, eating meals that cost less than $10 and not even willing to buy a drink for myself, but generously transferring $8,000 to her as living expenses. At that time, I only ate one meal a day because the money saved could buy Tanu a designer bag. She wanted to eat high-end steaks, set her hair, beautify her appearance, and buy brand-name clothes, and I paid for all of it. I even covered all the costs of her and her family's trips. She always said she wanted to marry me, but never took me to meet her parents. She said she wanted to buy a wedding room, so I gave her $250,000, but she never let me live in it once. Tanu never remembered my birthday. I was alone, eating takeout in my rented house. That day I wanted to eat a hamburger, but when I thought of her, I couldn't bear to eat something so expensive. Because her spending was too high, I had to save money for her, so I only ordered a bowl of noodles for myself. I originally wanted to add an egg, but an egg cost an extra $2, so I ended up just ordering the noodles. When Tanu found out, she just said, "Why didn't you tell me earlier that today was your birthday?" Actually, I had told her, but she never remembered. That day, she hugged me and said a few sweet words, and I was so moved that I transferred another $5,000 to her, which she accepted without hesitation. I didn't tell her that this $5,000 was my living expenses for half a year, but Tanu spent it all in 2 days. Later, to satisfy Tanu's unrestrained demands for money, I could only work without sleep or rest, and all the hard-earned money was transferred to her. I always remembered our promise that I would marry her when I turned 22. I eagerly looked forward to that day, but just a month before our planned wedding, she suddenly broke up with me. I couldn't accept it. I called Tanu many times, only to find out she had blocked me. Over the 2 years we were together, I gave her everything, even to the point of throwing up blood from overworking and unhealthy living habits. Her breakup completely crushed me. At that time, I lost the will to live. A few days after she broke up with me, I walked to the lake. Finally, I mustered the courage to call her one last time, but she still didn't answer. but she still accepted my transfer of money. In the end, I jumped into the lake in despair. The icy water woke me up, and I thought if I had another chance, I would never love her again. As I finished recalling, now reborn, I looked at the breakup reason she texted me, and I found it laughable. She blamed me for not spending time with her, but I worked hard without even time to sleep just to satisfy her desire for money. When Tanju asked me for money, she never mentioned wanting my company, only that I should focus on work and not let her down by missing work. I deleted the words in the input box, begging her to stay, and just replied with, "Okay." But before I could settle accounts with her, she said, "You were pretty good to me these past 2 years, so I won't ask for breakup fees." I suddenly found it amusing. Over these 2 years, I spent hundreds of thousands on her, and not getting this money back would be unfair to myself. So, I made a list, from buying a house and opening a shop to various luxury items. The transfer records totaled $550,000. I sent the bill to her and said, "See if there's any issue, and if not, please return the money." There was silence for a few minutes, then Tanju went crazy, bombarding me with messages saying, "You gave this money willingly. What right do you have to ask for it back? You wasted my 2 years, and I didn't realize you were so selfish. I don't have the money. Sue me if you dare." Hearing this, I was stunned. Was this the gentle and lovely Tanju? This was her true face. I didn't argue with her much and replied, "Then we'll see each other in court." After saying that, I got hungry. This time, without hesitation, I ordered my favorite McDonald's burger. I used to be reluctant to spend even an extra penny on myself, but now I felt it was very satisfying. Being able to eat a burger made me really happy, and from now on, I could eat it every day. After eating, I scheduled a health checkup for the next day. Over the years, I had earned a lot of money at the expense of my health, but now that I had a second chance, I just wanted to love myself well. A few days later, the health checkup results came out. Fortunately, I was still young. Although my health was not great, they were minor issues as long as I took care of myself in the future. However, my savings were not much. To recover my health, I temporarily stopped working, returned to a healthy diet, and normalized my routine. To reward myself, I also bought 2 new sets of clothes. During the 2 years with Tanju, I never bought a single piece of clothing. She always gave me her father's unwanted clothes, telling me to save money. Now, I threw them all in the trash, put on new clothes, and got a new haircut. Looking at myself in the mirror, I was even more determined to get everything back from Tanju. So, I consulted a lawyer. Tanju used the promise of marriage to continuously ask for money. I discovered she publicly claimed to be single on social platforms. Later, I found out I was just her ATM. Based on various evidence, the lawyer said that even if we couldn't recover all the money, we could at least get back more than half. I gave the lawyer Tanju's contact information, letting the lawyer handle her. I wouldn't entangle with her anymore. Late at night, I posted my experiences of the past 2 years and some evidence online, wanting to wake up people who had experienced the same as me. Soon, my story was seen by more and more netizens. Even Tanju's friends contacted me, providing evidence of how Tanju had scammed me and others. They also revealed that Tanju actually liked women and never loved me. Fortunately, all truth surfaced. Seeing many people willing to help me, and that my experience warned many others, I laughed happily. In the end, the court ruled that Tanju should return all the property she had cheated from me over the past 2 years. Tanju looked at me angrily. I coldly looked at the girl I had loved with all my might for 2 years, but I didn't want to say another word to her. Later, with my excellent gaming skills, I got a well-paying job and won awards in various competitions. From then on, loving myself became my motivation in life.